Now, from the University of Okoboji, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee.
Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. I'm Jeff Thee. We're here at the Dickinson County Museum. Mary Dreyer's here with me again, and you've got a treasure trove of photos.
You know, Jeff, it is amazing what walks through the doors of this museum.
Oh, yeah.
Totally amazing. Recently, we had a family album from the grandfather of Aubrey LaFoy.
Wow.
Now, Aubrey is 99 years old right now, so who knows how old his grandfather would be.
Yeah.
You know, but what's in this album and why it's so interesting is that it's early photos of Milford.
Right.
Yeah, and we haven't seen these before. And Aubrey's grandfather's name was Ollie Holcomb, and he worked at the First National Bank in Milford and was involved in a lot of stuff, and he knew a lot of people. So there are also a lot of photos of people which, believe it or not, are named, which we never find.
Yeah, nice to have it identified,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and a lot of these photos are identified also. They are just incredible photos. The first photo that I'm showing you is a photo of, believe it or not, digging the sewer lines in downtown Milford. I think this was around 1911 or something like that. This machine is just incredible. It's huge, absolutely huge, digging this trench. We have a likewise photo from Spirit Lake, and I'm not sure what year that's from, but in Spirit Lake, the trench was dug by hand.
Digging the first sewer lines.
It was done, in Spirit Lake, it was done by hand.
Oh.
In Milford, they had this big machine to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Lucky Milford guys.
No kidding, no kidding. We also have in this album, thanks to Aubrey LaFoy, photos of the old mill. You know, Milford is called Milford because of the mill.
Yes.
Actually, there were two mills at one time in Milford.
Okay, I didn't know that. I knew that's how the name came, but okay.
Yeah, and the one that we're most familiar with was southeast of town.
Okay.
There's a little park there now and a sign that talks about the mill, but we finally have some really fine photos of this old mill.
And what did they mill? Grain?
Flour.
Flour. Okay.
Yeah. Guys would come. Mills were set up so that people could, I don't even know how to explain this, could get to the mill within a day. And sometimes hotels would pop up where there were mills so that folks would have a place to stay overnight, because it was a big deal to take your grain in to get it ground.
Right.
Because it's how you got your flour.
Yeah.
And this mill in Milford, what I still haven't wrapped my head around is how big the water flow is. When you go down to where the mill was now, it's just a gentle little stream.
Right.
But in these old pictures, it's a raging torrent of river. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I wonder what changed upstream or whatever to change that flow.
I don't know. I would love to find out. I don't know. Obviously, they constructed some concrete, what do I call them, like barriers? Channels, channels to narrow the river to increase the flow.
Okay.
But still, it's way more flow than what we've got now.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Other photos show, believe it or not, downtown Milford from the air. Not from an airplane, but from a water tower. Aubrey told me that his grandfather climbed on top of the water tower to take these photographs.
Bearing soul.
And yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
And they're just this perfect, this perfect view of the way things used to be in Milford. One of these photos, it's one of my favorites, show the area just to the east of where the Three Sons is now.
Okay, yeah.
And where the train tracks came through, where the depot was, but this photo is before the depot was even built.
Wow.
And it shows the creek that goes east out of Milford, the winding creek, before there were any houses there.
Wow.
We had trouble figuring out where this was, this photo. We thought at first that it was Old Town Milford, but it's not.
Okay.
It's
a Existing Milford. Yeah,
it is.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah. This photo album makes me wonder what it was like when the town decided to pick up and move. Because when the train came through, the town of Milford originally was southeast of where it is now.
Yes.
Okay. When the train came through, the Milwaukee line came through, it came up north of there. It didn't touch the town. And so the town picked up and moved north so it could be where the train depot would be.
Hey guys, we're moving.
Yeah.
I thought the train company could have accommodated a little bit. But
yeah, I don't know what the deal was.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know how many houses were actually moved and how many of the buildings were actually moved. I know they were.
Yeah.
But I would love to have been able to see this
But then
happen.
people would have started settling up there instead of further south.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So what we know of as Milford today was actually North Milford. And the real town was Old Town.
Wow.
Yeah, very cool. So through photographs, we learn so much about our area's history and things that, how people dress and what they were doing. And one of the funny photographs in this album is a picture of, believe it or not, the Fat Man's Race in Milford, Iowa.
I'm kind of glad they still don't have that. Yeah.
I look at these guys and I don't think they're fat, but they called it the Fat
Man's Race.
Yeah, in Milford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this an annual?
I know nothing more about it.
Okay, it was just they had a Fat Man's Race.
Yeah.
You got to bring that back for Pioneer Days.
Yeah, we could all enter.
Boy, you have a lot of entries in there.
Yeah. So we so appreciate it when people bring in photo albums and photos to us. What might be ordinary for the people that bring them in is usually extraordinary for us.
Yes.
And what we do is we digitize the photos. We put them on a scanner. Doesn't hurt the photos at all.
Right.
Put them on the scanner, take a photograph of them. Well, not a photograph. We scan them.
They're digitized,
and it goes into our computer, and we are working steadily and hard to get these photos to the point where they can be available to the public to come into the museum. We've probably have about 2,000 photos in our collection already. And
that's the tip of the iceberg.
It really is.
What's probably sitting in people's attics or in grandma's trunk or something.
Yeah, photographs that you don't think we would be interested in, we probably are. And we don't harm the photos at all. We hand you back the originals. We keep the scans for our collection. And if you want scans to give to your family, we would be happy to send them on to you.
Sure.
So it's win-win for everybody. These amazing old photographs get out into the public realm.
And if they got writing on them saying where they are or who's in the picture,
that's a bonus.
That's the cherry on the cake.
That's a bonus. Yeah. In this album that we've been talking about, I actually found photographs of my grandfather.
Did you really? Yeah,
at the First National Bank in Milford. And photographs of him are far and few between because we've talked about it. He kind of left the area abruptly in 1922 and was never heard from again.
Yeah.
So to find photographs of him, it's just huge.
Very special. Personalizes.
Yeah. And since these photographs are named, to see the names that we recognize, the old names from Milford, and we can see faces to go along with them because they've been named. So I'd welcome folks to bring in their photographs, and if you want to stand here with your precious photographs while we scan them,
sure,
you can do that, and then take them home and know that they will be preserved forever. Here at the Dickinson County Museum.
And really easier to access.
Oh, much easier.
Swipe, 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 and there you go.
And Mark Mayer, one of our photography nerds who was a professional photographer, can work his magic on these photos. If there's spots or something on them, he can work his magic on them to make them pristine.
Look like they just came back from Kodak.
So please bring in your photographs.
Very good. Check those check through those old albums that have been sitting there just a little short of forever.
Even if you've got a single photo that's been in a drawer or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You've got some events coming up here in February. Yes.
We do. We had our first Lucy Lama's night at the museum last week at the Winchester Museum. Jeff, would you believe we would have been thrilled to have had 50 people there? There were over 100 people that came.
You doubled that baby up.
We doubled that baby, and people loved it.
Good.
It's a museum that not everybody has seen.
Yeah.
And we get to host in February, on February 27th. It's a Thursday night from 6:30 to 8. We're hosting Lucy Lama's night at the museum. And we are inviting some special guests here that you don't typically get to talk to.
Okay.
Remember Fred Gilbert?
Yes, sure do. Sure, of course.
Fred, the Wizard of Spirit Lake,
Yes.
who was a world famous trap shooter.
Yes.
Called the Michael Jordan of the era.
Yes, he was.
Good friend of John Philip Sousa. Well, he's going to be here to tell some stories and to meet people. And L.F. Williams, our favorite photographer from the early days, who did such a fabulous job of documenting our early history.
Yeah.
L.F. is going to be here.
Wow.
And I have it on good authority. Are you ready for this?
Go, shoot, yes.
Abby Gardner's going to be here too.
Oh my goodness.
Telling stories.
Oh.
And we've been learning even more new stuff about Abby lately. Yeah, so Abby will be here that night. We'll be showing off our new ice harvesting exhibit here in the exhibit hall. And we'll give folks an update on our depot project that we have been working steadily on.
Yes.
This project is happening.
Good.
It is fabulous.
And you're still accepting donations to...
Absolutely. And you can donate via our website.
Okay.
Just go to the support page and click on it and send us your donation that way. It's very easy. Checks are great too.
Oh, when you were talking about the guests are going to be here on the 27th,
Yes.
you're like a Cheshire cat.
I am so excited
The
about
grid
this.
starts here, Mary, and goes all the way over here.
I am so excited about this night. I really am. And it's not just for adults. We want folks to bring kids in too. Kids will have a chance to talk to these people from our past. It is going to be great. Then on March 20th, we're doing our next History Lives presentation, and that is going to be on Abby Gardner after the massacre, or beyond the massacre.
Okay.
We know, all of us know the massacre story, right? But what we don't know are these amazing things about Abby, about how her life was when she lived here and all she did. She traveled all over. I've got a little perky little fact for you that I learned just yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
And that is that Abby Gardner, our Abby Gardner, in 1893 went to Chicago to speak at the Columbia exhibition at the World's Fair.
Wow.
She spoke at that. I just learned that.
Just learned that.
Yeah. She was something else.
Yes,
and so I'm not going to be talking about the massacre so much as I'm going to be talking about her life after the massacre.
And she had a lot of life.
She was
after
a
that.
woman who lived beyond her years, beyond the age that she was. She was doing stuff that women didn't do.
I was going to say,
then.
and groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
Yes.
Yeah. Her story just began with the massacre. It didn't end with it.
Story of perseverance and beyond.
No kidding.
Yes, indeed.
No kidding.
So we look forward to those dates, February 27th and March
20th. Yes.
Okay.
And watch our email newsletters and Facebook pages and local media to find out what's happening, because stuff is happening here.
This is obviously.
Yeah,
obviously.
It is.
And how fun is that? So, all right.
So fun.
Mary, as always, thanks for making my Wednesday brighter.
Same, Jeff. I've missed you. It's been a couple weeks.
We've had winter games, and I had a little bug, and I'm right as rain, and and ready to roll here, everybody. So, very good, my friend. Again, thank you.
Yep. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Mary Dreyer here from the Dickinson County Museum. Oh, we thank you for your time. We thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast.
Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you in part by West Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services. Advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. The headquarters of the University of Okoboji is at the Three Sons, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday from 10 to 4. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji.